What is happening, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Happy new DC day. I hope everyone had a fantastic Easter, a fantastic Superman Day 2025. Hope you enjoyed that behind the scene look at the upcoming James Gunn Superman. We're going to talk about that for certain and look at some books coming out this week. We're on the weekly giveaway. We got the super chat goal set. The prize wheel is prepped if we hit that super chat goal. We're going to get into it right after this. As always, check the link down below. You can find some fantastic resources for this amazing hobby, like Big Time Collectibles, who just launched their John Jang RC Transformers exclusive cover that is partnered with John Jang himself. Comic Capsule, Comic Shield, and Big Time Collectibles all went in to put this package together. It's a special packaging, comes with a comic capsule protector, all kinds of cool stuff, and 100% of the money that comes in from the sales of that is going straight to cancer research with the, I forget the name of the foundation. It's a Susan B. something foundation, but be sure to check out their socials. They got all the information there. Check out their website if you can and want to give to a great cause. They got it going on, and you don't even have to pick up the book. There is a donation part to the website where you check out the book and everything. So always excited to see people in the eternal battle against the ultimate supervillain of cancer. And if you need anything cleaned and pressed, Justin Comics has got you covered. Let them know you found him via the channel. And as always, a huge shout out and thank you to ABX Comics and Games, my local comic shop where I'll be spending my free comic book day at ABX. Fantastic stuff going on there. If you're in the area, be sure to make plans and arrangements to come spend your free comic book day at Augusta Book Exchange or ABX Comics and Games. It's the first Saturday in May. I'll be there. Brian LCS is making the trip to come hang out. Geek Out with Roscoe will be there. They set up like a mini local convention with all kinds of local talent and cool stuff happening. So it's a great place to come to enjoy some sales if they got them running, to pick up free books while they're there. They'll have a lot. So make sure you're there early so you don't get got and miss out on those books you might want to be chasing. And if you're not sure what books those are, I posted a video yesterday with a complete list of what's going to be offered this year for Free Comic Book Day so you can make the proper arrangements. Plan ahead. Measure twice, cut once, and never get cut out. And also a huge thank you to ABX Comics and Games. They sponsored today's video and supply us with the awesome giveaway, which includes today Justice League Unlimited, issue number 6, with this freaking awesome Lee Bermejo cover. This is also part 2 of the We Were Yesterday crossover happening with Justice League Unlimited and World's Finest. Also featured in today's giveaway is the milestone issue number 25 for Superman, with this beautiful cover art by Jeff DeCall of Superwoman. Got to tell you, that book was amazing. It was amazing. And we'll talk about it. No spoilers today, but just know that even if you're not pulling Superman, you might want to grab this issue. It reads perfectly fine if you're not completely up to speed, but you definitely don't want to miss out on this issue. Fair warning. Fair warning. It was amazing. Say hey to some of the people in the chat. We got 18 rocking with us already. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. It helps get the stream out there, let other people know that I'm live. YouTube isn't always the greatest about notifications. I get a lot of notifications for stuff I'm subscribed to well after the fact of it being live. But share that stream out. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. It just helps let people know where we're at. Lisa, what is going on? Happy Tuesday to you. The adventurous one, Joseph Michaels. Hello, hello. We got Heroes for Hire. What's up, Matt? Good to see you in here. And right off the bat, kicking us off strong with that $2 super chat. One down, 4 to go to spin that wheel. Bryant, what's going on? I have comic issues. Hello, hello. J-Med, what's up, brother? Good to see you in here. Pop, hello. Just got off the phone with him. I was reading some of this DC stuff, and I'm like, oh, my God, I have to show Pops. I was taking pictures, sending them to him. It was amazing. It's a fantastic week for DC. Fantastic week for it. Brian LCS, what's up, homie? Good to see you in here. Space Case Collectibles, hello, hello. We got the one, the only, the immortal Austin LeMay. How are you today? Faith and Misery, what's up? Good to see you in here. Hello, hello. Scotty, how are you doing? Can't wait. The Viking, yeah, Alan will be there. Of course, Alan will be there. Alan, yeah, I don't know why I forget Alan. He's freaking local. I just hanging out with him this morning. The Comic Viking will be there also. Wayne Deacon, how are you today? Dead Man is in the building. Hello, hello. White Tiger Triple C, what's up, Ruben? Good to see you. I need that dope crypto shirt in my life. This shirt is actually not even an American shirt, despite being in English. My good friend from Belgium, Bart, it's a company that sold over in Europe when he came to America for the first time last November and came and stayed with us for a little bit while traversing the Southeast. He brought some goodies, and this was one of them. This and an awesome Flash shirt. It was really cool of him. Good guy. Yep. The Collector P, what is going on? How are you today? Mark SE, hello. Good to see you in here. All right, so let's get rocking and rolling. So what do y'all want to start with first? You want to look at books first or talk about this Superman behind the scenes stuff that dropped? Let's start with that, because I think that plenty of people have had an opportunity to see it. This past Friday, Wednesday, whatever. It was a weird rollout. Superman Day 2025 just passed, and that's the day where the industry, the comic book industry in all shapes and sizes, celebrates the greatest superhero there ever was, is, or will be, none other than Superman. And they do it in fashion. They do it in style. They send out free books to shops. They don't not sent to the shops for free. They buy them and they offer them to the public for free. It's a promotional way to get people in the doors, get new fans, supply longstanding fans with some cool stuff. And there's not just the free books. They also have other books that are for sale. They're exclusives for the event. You know, the shops can buy in. And they did some Action Comic 1 reprints. They did, what was it? All-Star Superman 1 foil version and a Superman for All Seasons foil version. Some iconic Superman stories that are heavily inspiring what's going on with the upcoming DCU Superman film. It was a great day, great event. And for me, that gave me 4 more Action Comic 1 reprints to add to the collection. The Golden Age size one, the foil version, the blank version, and then the Dan Mora art featuring David Corenswet on the cover. It was really cool. But that wasn't all. On Friday, DC on their social medias dropped a behind-the-scene look at Superman, the upcoming film. It was 2 minutes, 17 seconds long, and it wasn't a trailer. And I'll be honest with you, I've been vocal about not being happy with the rollout, the marketing of this Superman movie. It just seemed a little weird. You know, a lot of the fandom is divided. You can see like people argue on the internet. That's just a thing. It's going to happen, but people have been doing it a little bit more. You got some strong opinions on the way the suit looks, on James Gunn himself as a human being. You got some diehard Snyder fans that are just completely anti anything but Zack Snyder. I'm a diehard Snyder fan. Zack Snyder is even a fan of what he's seeing with this Superman stuff. There's the whole respect the past, embrace the future thing that's going over some people's heads, and that's fine. Different strokes for different folks, but the marketing just seemed to be lacking a key element for me, and that was that kind of that iconic shot of Superman in the sun. You know, we see him getting hit with a fireball from the kaiju. We see him laying in the snow, bleeding, being drugged by his cape. We see him getting like locking up with Ultraman for a brief moment. But what we haven't seen is just like that iconic shot, like how Henry Cavill's sitting there with his eyes closed and the sun hitting him just before he takes flight, or Christopher Reeve standing there in the pose with the greatest skyline and all the world behind him. It's just, we didn't quite have that yet. And then Collider, I think it was like 2 days or the week before, posted some exclusive shots from on the set. And we got that. David Cornsweat with a little smirk on his face, standing there next to Lex Luthor with quite literally the sun shining on him. And it looked magnificent. It was really that missing X factor for me. But then on Superman Day, they dropped this behind the scene footage, which gave us a look at some stuff that we haven't seen at all yet. But it gave us our Superman actor speaking while wearing the suit. So you get an idea of that tone, that feel. We got smiles on set. You got a look at Metamorpho. And it really just sparked that hope in me, because the cast and crew were speaking about this project, but they weren't talking about, you know, the actors. They weren't talking about James Gunn. They were literally talking about the character of Superman and what's important about him and what's really like. So it's been their inspirational kind of thought process on this job. And it was like nail on the head. They were absolutely driving home what it is that Superman is and why he's so important, and some could argue needed in a time like the modern day. Yeah, I sure can, little one.
Because mommy is asleep.
Mommy's asleep. That's what she does this time of day. This looks like a project into itself. You want to say hey to everybody while I open these for you?
Hello.
You got to talk for me while I do this.
Hello.
Are you excited for the new Superman movie? Yeah. All right, you got to be very careful. These look like they'll fall everywhere. Two-handed.
They're jelly beans.
Yeah, you don't want them to fall everywhere, do you? Yeah, she's tiptoeing. But yeah, they were talking about like just what's so important about the character, why a character like Superman has lasted so long, why he's so important now as he's ever been. It's because what he stands for, what he is. And I like to say all the time, it's the universal truths. You know, like there's a lot of stuff that we can debate on. There's a lot of stuff that's subjective, but when you got universal truths, those things that any and everybody can relate to and lean on and identify with and see themselves in, at least to a degree, where you see what you think you should be or could be, and you start striving. You get that sense when you see a character like Superman that it should make you think, I can be better and I want to be better. That's the draw for a character like Superman. And I think that's where some of my concerns were early on and up until recently. I love James Gunn. I love James Gunn as a creator. I love like the stuff that he's delivered to us, but nothing he's done so far really matches Superman. You know, Creature Commandos, hard R, vulgar, violent. Guardians has got a lot of like toilet humor, as it would be called, in it. It's got heart, absolutely. It's got a great storyline. It's got great characters, but it's still, that isn't like easy, that you couldn't just superimpose Superman into that, you know. And I was wondering if James Gunn is going to really outdo himself when it comes to this Superman project. And he has to. He has to bring something to the table that he hasn't brought to any other project he's worked on. And when they did that behind the scene, we had Peter Safran speaking about that first phone call with James when he was wondering, like he didn't know how to crack the code of him doing a Superman something. And we don't know what it is or how it is, but something happened where he figured out what he called his way in. And more than ever, I'm excited to see what that is. Not just the movie. I'm excited to see what James Gunn as a creator, like looking at the movie industry from more than just one vantage point as just a ticket buyer and a butt in the seat, but just the process of making movies, the thought process behind the creatives going into putting it together. I'm excited to see what that way in was for James Gunn. He can do it. He's such a creative storyteller. He can pull it off. I hope he does. I'm excited to see what he pulls off. I think it's going to be something special. But where's everybody else? Like, sound off in the chat. Give me like on a scale of 1 to 10. Where's your hype? Just your hype. Like, how excited are you for this Superman movie on a scale of 1 to 10? Drop some comments in there while I catch back up on the chat. My former student is working on the trailers and also this preview. Kind of cool kid. Well, tell him they dropped the ball in the first trailers. I'm just kidding, man. This behind the scene was absolutely, to use the language that they used, it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It had exactly what we needed. Well, Boar, what is going on? Madam, good to see you in here. Hello, hello. Let's see, people just saying the hellos. Stephen with the sleeves. We are working, but also we are Legion. Good to see you. Think people still, Snyder fans won't let it lie. They won't. They absolutely won't. But the numbers are getting smaller and smaller every day. Yo, the vast majority of Zack Snyder fans are not irrational and disliking this movie just because Snyder's not doing the DC. That's a pocket. They are so vocal and they are present, but man, that's such an irrational way to think and to move through life. It's crazy. Like, anyone can go back through my channel and like, I'm a diehard Snyder fan, but I'm not crazy. And there's some crazy people. I mean, I am crazy, but I'm not crazy like that. It's unfortunate. Because like DC can use some dedicated like fanboys or cheerleaders, whatever term you want to use. Like when you ride hard for the stuff you're passionate about and for your fandom, they can use more of that. I was not keen on how DC Universe was going with Snyder movies. Most people weren't, man. And that's, you know, we look back at the past with rose-colored glasses every now and then. And like Sally Jupiter says, every day that goes by, I look back at the past and it just wasn't so dark. But yeah, if Superman budget is 2 to 250, this film is going to have overperform at the box office for Warner Brothers. Dude, from the reports I've seen and heard, and James says it's not true, but we're talking like 3 something. But that was like the early reports, and I don't know the source of those reports, but it would be weird if this movie didn't have a budget of 2 to 250. That's kind of like the standard for like big mega blockbusters, right? Like the vast majority of big mega blockbusters, especially stuff on this scale, is 2 to 250 these days. I still think it's still fancy money laundering that Hollywood's doing, but that is a standard, and that's kind of created that unfortunate need for the $1 billion success. It's crazy to think. But yeah, there ain't no way this movie's coming in under 250, in my humble opinion. I think you're spot on with that, at least right there. But the company tried to say that Captain America 4 was a success because it did 4 at the box office on 180 million, when we all know that movie had a 360 budget. Wild. We'll see. Yep. She's in, she's out. Monkey's moving fast. 15. Yeah, that's a good number. Yeah, 15 out of 10. Boom. Stephen with a C coming in. Happy new DC Day. Legionnaires dropping that $2 super chat. Let's go. I got to get some new clips. So, fun fact, last week's stream got flagged by YouTube. One of my Aquaman clips is a little too long, apparently. And I'm still gonna play that Aquaman clip. Just we hit the super chats. I'm gonna play it all the same. Flag it all you want. It demonetizes the video, but who cares? They're fun. They're fun, right? It doesn't hurt the channel. It just demonetizes them. You could threaten me with money? I don't need money. This is for fun. 8 out of 10 Superman hype. Still not keen on there being all those other heroes being in guns for a Superman movie. Yeah, we're going to see how it plays out. My biggest thing early on with the characters, I'm like, yeah, announce whoever you want. Who knows how big of a role they'll play or won't play. Then they announce that they're not small roles, that they're not cameos, they're not this or that. They're part of the movie. I'm like, oh, man, bloated. It's still bloated. I won't have a problem with it. You won't have a problem with it. Most people in this chat, if you have on YouTube and you have found this channel and you are in this stream on a Tuesday at 2 p.m., you won't have a problem with the amount of characters in the movie. My concern goes beyond me when it comes to that. It goes into the realm of the general audience. And I think back to how much I enjoyed the Black Adam movie. I love the JSA, completely familiar with all those characters in depth and beyond. But I remember the conversation being had about why were there so many characters? Who are they? We didn't get a backstory. They didn't explain them. Are we going to see more of them? Why did they include them at all? That's the same conversation that can be applied to the Superman movie. And it needs to be a mega success. It has to launch an entire universe. Everything is riding on this movie. So anything that gives me cause for pause, I'm like, oh, was that the best idea? Like, that's a gamble. That's now you're adding an unknown factor. You're adding a gamble, but it's weird. It seems like the internet largely has forgotten about every single complaint it ever made about earlier projects in the comic book movie realm and is applying none of it to the Superman movie. It's like the online conversation. People just completely flipped the script, just jumped on board. No questions asked, no criticism, no concerns, just as much as you have like the Snyder purists out there that are just going to dislike everything. You have people that are just like, it's James Gunn on Superman. I've loved Superman forever. It's like when the trailer dropped, everyone all of a sudden was the biggest crypto fan in the world, which is hilarious to me. I love it. Anyone that wants to be fans, come on in. There's room, plenty of room. But it's just funny. Anytime a movie drops, that's kind of the thing, right? Like, I'm guilty of it to a degree. If something comes out, people get excited. They want to attach that excitement to something. Ant-Man 3 coming out. Kang's in it. That's my favorite villain ever. Ain't nobody care about Kang. Nobody care about Kang. You got like 5 people out there that care about Kang. But ain't nothing wrong with it. Get hyped. Get attached. Go pick up books. Read them. Anything that gets you in there. 9.5 out of 10. Excited. 8. I'm still a little apprehensive that they are going to try to do too much, but still psyched. Yeah. 8 out of 10 for Space Case. Doesn't it need to make $1 billion to break even though? The rule is 2.5 to profit, right? Like whatever your budget is, if it's got a $250 million budget, it's sitting good when it hits like 6. because like you can't spend all this time investing all this stuff just to get your money back. That means you did it all for free. And then when you put in marketing, and then there's hidden stuff that they don't like to talk about. And then when you apply the fact that the gate is 50% on average. So keep that in mind. If you have a 250 million movie and you make 500 at the box office at the theater's keeping a lion's share of that. They're keeping about 50% of that. So if you make 500, all you made was 250. Now we're not applying the marketing, so that's where the half comes in. It's a weird, unofficial, but relatively useful formula to use. If it's on a 250, it ain't going to start. They're not going to feel the boot come off their neck until 6. But if it's at a 360, my God, that's crazy. You'd have to make $1 billion. But then again, there's Avatar, right? Like anytime I get to gloat about that one, I'm happy to do it. Avatar. Oof. They needed everyone's like, they need $1 billion to break, or $1 billion to break even. They'll never do it. It's been 13 years. No one cares. Then they go on and they make so much money. It pays off 2.5 films, and everything they make for the next 6 years is all profit. That's amazing. Let's go, Avatar fandom. Ryan Riley, what is going on? DC really needs to have a big hit here. I'm cautiously optimistic. Yeah, I think the reaction to Creature Commandos was a good start. Terrible idea to start the DCU with that, but I think a lot of people are going to have to go back and discover it if Superman is this mega hit, this zeitgeist shift that is much needed, this much needed win for Warner Brothers. I think a lot of people are going to go back and invest in this streaming on Max service, especially when more content gets there, and they're going to find that Creature Commandos. I'm not worried about it. Hashtag bowl cut for life. Pretty sure the only numbers on your keyboard are 8, 1, and 0. Yes, dude. Sunday night we were talking about that, I think. Yeah, or Friday, one of the nights. Yeah. I went and saw Sinners last night, and it was awesome. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. I've heard nothing but great stuff. I was hoping that I could find time to squeak it in this past week, and it didn't work out. But I'm still gonna check it out. Big fan of Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan. I heard both of Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan are starring in the new Michael B. Jordan movie Sinners. Did you see the superpowers figures they are making for the Superman movie? Common complaint: no women. Pfft. McFarlane believes girls have cooties. I did see those figures. I don't collect the superpower line. But he'd have to figure out how to do wings. I mean, who would you expect to have in there? Because you had Superman, Metamorpho, Guy Gardner, one other one, and the Fortress. And McFarlane has proven that girls don't have cooties, but girl figures do not sell at the same rate as boy figures. I remember, what was it, like 2 years ago? Everyone wanted to crucify him for saying, for every 5 figures I do, only one can be a female figure because girls don't buy boys' toys. And they're like, there's no such thing as girl and boy toys. And apparently it turned out 1,000% true. Facts be facts. It's just demographics. Anyone can buy any toy you want, but just it proves that more boys and more adult toy collectors or males tend to buy male figures. And evidence, just go to any Ollies that exist. Every female Marvel Legend, every female Star Wars toy, they're all there. Like that's all that's on that bargain shelves, because that's all that makes it through to that store. It's wild. Terrific. I buy girl toys. Not often. There's a couple here and there when it pertains to the movie figures, but my keys and I think alike. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Mr. Terrific figure coming soon from the 7-inch scale. Geek Out with Roscoe, what is going on, homie? I hope you are all doing well today. Excited for NFL Draft and Free Comic Book Day. I'm excited to see you at Free Comic Book Day, my guy. And if I didn't tell you, I signed my son up, my 7-year-old, and bought him a sword and signed him up for sword class. Finn will be starting his sword class on Free Comic Book Day. So I'll be at ABX early. Like when doors open, I'll already be there, my guy. But then I'll be leaving shortly for sword class. Last year, we hit a couple shops, hit a couple sales, ate lunch together. So I'm going to hit sword class and try to meet back up with you guys. I hope y'all are planning on hitting some more stuff in town. So we'll see. 50% is USA, less abroad. So if comes from overseas, not as good. Yeah. Ooh, what is going on, Alan Rue? Good to see you, homie. What's up? Oh, and if y'all don't know, if you're any Valiant fans out there, which I'm discovering, there are definitely some Valiant fans out there. I've been posting my Turok read through on all my socials. Southern Comic Geek does a phenomenal Valiant stream, and I'd be curious, what does TLDR stand for, Jason? They covered Bloodshot and Ninjak last night, the early issues. Talked for hours on it, and I had a blast hanging out in their stream, just listening while wind down the evenings and stuff when they do it. But I was wondering, what is it, TLDR? Y'all have that on all the graphics? I have no clue what it means. Fill me in. But check out his channel if anybody wants to keep up with what Valiant fans are up to and where they're at. That's where they're at. Let's see. Heard Sinners is fantastic. Yeah. Reminder, Mark, theaters make their money off concessions, not movie tickets. It's always an interesting thing. Yeah, they make a good bit of money off concessions, but they also make 50% of ticket sales. So let's think about that. A $500 million movie drops, and they get 50% of those ticket sales, $250 million in a weekend. How much do you think they made in concessions that weekend? The theater game's got to be a weird business, man, where you get these like spurts of just cash injections, and then you're trying to survive on selling popcorn and gummy bears in between. You know, that's got to be scary. Scary business to be in. They're struggling right now. They're not doing good this year. They've had huge success with Minecraft. That was a little relief they got, but the first quarter of this year was absolutely terrible for theaters. One of the lowest in years. I want the Super Friend figures coming out. Yeah, they look cool. I don't know how anyone couldn't be nervous for Superman. It needs to do big numbers. Absolutely agree. It needs to shift the entire culture of comic fans. At least, you know, there's levels to being comic fan. You know what I mean? You got like we read books for comic fans, or I just like the movies, or I like this TV show. I mean, you're comic adjacent and you're still fans of the characters that originated in comic books, but there's a lot of people that just keep up with it visually, and it needs all of them. These movies need all of them to come out, get in where you fit in, and enjoy the show. It's got to be huge. $1.99 from JSS Brooklyn. New comic book day. Big shout out and thank you for that. That puts us at 3 out of 5, getting closer to spinning that wheel. Sword class, that is the thing. Yeah, so he's Finn takes karate, and they're doing a sword clinic now. He's at an age or a place in his training where they think it's a good idea to teach him how to wield a sword. I'm like, okay, why not? Why not? So I signed him up. I'm like, bought him a sword through the karate school, obviously. Now they start with a wooden sword and training and stuff, but I like the idea of sitting there watching and hearing like those wooden swords clacking and stuff. That's such a cool sound. If you're a fan of like old kung fu flicks or martial arts stuff, like that sound, like it just triggers like a dopamine hit. You're like, okay, it's getting lit. Something's firing off right here. I hear the swords clacking. So I'm excited for it. Dead Media for the win. Yeah, we'll definitely hit up Dead Media. Absolutely. Sounds like a plan. And yes, Brian will be here hitting Dead Media.
Daddy, look. Blue, yellow.
Are you only eating the yellow ones? Did you eat any of them?
I ate this.
The yellow one moved over.
Put it in the back.
I can't. My hand's too big. It's going to spill all of them. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to jump back up and meet up with you guys like at lunchtime or something. Will theater charge tariff on exported movies? Ha 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 ha. I don't think so, but I did see where like China is like, we're not showing foreign movies anymore. Only movies made in China. Weird. I'm sure they're, you think about the pushback that the government gets in this country from actually people in this country. China's facing the same pushback in their own country. So I'm wondering how the movie businesses and stuff like that will be affected by China doing that. And we'll see. We'll see if they'll release them or not. The Hollywood definitely needs the screens. They definitely need it to happen, especially with how they've budgeted for those screens when they're making these movies. So that's wild. I will see you there and hit some other spots because Brian is going to be there too. Absolutely. Too long, didn't read. Oh, they do last for a while. Too long, didn't read. That's funny. Tender loving doctor. How does everyone know this? How is it that I didn't know this? I'm not up to speed. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Loaders Empire, what's up, homie? It's interesting how times change. Movie theaters used to be recession proof. Now, not so much anymore. Yeah, they got people through the Great Depression, right? Blame streaming. Everybody was a kung fu fighting. I didn't take karate as a kid, but didn't take sword training. So I'm going to have to stick dance class advice and not sword class. Yeah. Monkey's coming up on her recital, getting close. She's actually going to miss. This will be the first class she's missed today. She's not going to ballet or tap Finn has a play. He's playing a boll weevil in a school play thing that they do. So we'll see. Record Finn's sword class and then edit the video with clashing and clanking sound. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I've got some Finn video. Y'all know Finn has a YouTube channel where he likes to post some toy stuff on there. But I'm gonna try to get his karate stuff, like him testing, breaking his boards and stuff, and put some stuff on his channel for him. He wanted up there. So we'll get some stuff up there. I wonder if the movie only made in China are okay. Superman. Wait, it's a comic book. Yeah, we do have a Superman from China. Yeah, we'll see. So let's get into it. Let's look at what comics are coming out this week. We're running out of time. We're halfway through. Let me find the one I want. That's not it. That's not it. That's close enough, right? You can see that if I click on them. So I haven't been able to read everything today. Been a busy day. Been working out in the yard on the lights on my Jeep needed to be flim-flammed. So I went out and flim-flammed them with my neighbor, who's a awesome guy and fantastic with car stuff. So I was able to read a few things today. This is not one of them. This is next up on my list to read. Highly, highly excited for it. Ridiculously happy with part 1. Everybody knows it. Hush 2, The Return of Hush. Is it Thomas Elliott? We don't know. We don't know what the deal is yet. We just had one installment so far, but the next issue is out in Batman 159. Jim Lee, Jeff Loeb, the creative minds are back for it. And I'm excited to see what happens in this issue. The synopsis reads, H2SH, aka Hush 2, with Jeff and Jim continues. After the shocking events of the last issue, Batman must make the hardest decision of his life. Guest starring Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood. It almost sounds like we got the 3 Jokers team in here, doesn't it? But I don't know what the harshest decision of his life was in the last issue. The story did lead us to a suit with a yellow emblem on his chest, which I thought was awesome. The infected Bat computer got shut down, and we'll see what goes on. I'm excited for it. I know a lot of people picked this one up. The sales were redonkulously good with it, and we'll see what happens. Lightsaber sounds, that would be the way to go. We had self-taught sword training as kids. Same here. Same here. Like, wait till it's wrapping paper season. We're all pros at that point. TLDR is often right before someone says, read the effing manual. That's fair. But yeah, Hush 2. I know a lot of people are picking this up. I like that they're doing those mega giant size issues too. What a great gimmick. I'm not grabbing them, but they're a fantastic gimmick. Fantastic. We've got Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 7 out this week as well. This was phenomenal. You know, we last saw her in Hades Arena, where her mom Cersei was chained up, kind of duel of wits with Hades. Now this is going to be a duel of strength in his arena. Man, what an amazing story this is. You kind of get a little bit of a dualistic storytelling in the present and past, where, you know, it kind of comes together like butt cheeks. They take a lesson from the past and you're watching it implemented in the present, and it delivers on a lot of different levels. Man, I don't know how many people aren't picking this up, but you need to be picking it up. It's selling like gangbusters. DC is crushing it on the top charts right now. They got every week, they have like at least 50% of the top 10 titles or DC books. And I see why. The quality of writing is really driving force behind all of these Absolute books. They're exciting to be able to get in at a ground level for something, to be there from the beginning. But what's keeping people there, what's keeping these books high on the list once we're 7, 8, 9 issues in, is the quality of storytelling. They're nailing them. They got the essence of the character trailed by brand new twists, turns, and you don't know what's going to happen when you turn the page. But they're the characters you know and love. Can't recommend them enough. The next Batman villain, Slush, Slurpee Killer. That'd be funny. What's going on, Czars? Good to see you and your brother. How are you? Haven't seen you in a little while. Are you coming to Heroes Con this year? It was good seeing you there last year, that's for sure. I don't think I saw this on the shelf or in the piles. I got to double check to see if this one's actually dropping this week. I can't remember. Martian Manhunter number 2. I don't know. I got to check on that. Issue 1 was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I loved it. If you were an independent comic fan, it's a must read. If you're a DC comic fan, you definitely should check it out. But it was so unique. That one was definitely wild. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, no. That was something I was looking at. What's coming in the future? All right, this quite possibly is going to end up being the read of the week. They turned issue number 25 into a milestone issue. All right, I appreciate that. I'll have to go make sure I grab that. I'm not good about adding stuff I pull on my actual pull list. We got a milestone issue with Superman issue number 25. Now, what that means is a little bit oversized, and you get a lot of creatives on this. Of course, we have Joshua Williamson there as our main writer. Dan Moore is doing some work. Jamal Campbell has returned. It all started with Joshua Williamson and Jamal Campbell. And Jamal Campbell has returned to do some work in here. Eddie Barrows, who's done some work along the run, is also here. So you have the entire creative team up to this point coming back to work on this book together. This was the most epic single issue comic I think I've read this year. It is wild. It's labeled at the top Summer of Superman. It's a wraparound cover featuring art by Dan Mora. And if you haven't been reading Superman, it does a great job of place setting. It just gives you enough information to not be lost when you take off from the beginning of this issue into a wild event altering issue. Where we are at the start of this issue with characters and plot driving stuff is completely different by the end. This is the cause effect issue. All the causes from 1 to 24, this issue, and 25 is the effect. This primes a lot of stuff up for the Summer of Superman with how they're teeing off some new stories and adding some mini series in for the year and stuff. So I highly recommend checking this out. Even again, if you're not pulling Superman regularly, grab this issue, read it. You'll have a great idea of what's been going on and what will be happening over the next, at least handful of months at the bare minimum with Superman and the Superman characters. And keep in mind, if that Superman movie pops and opens a doorway for a whole new generation of fans to start pulling Superman comics, you're gonna want this one if you're gonna be jumping into Superman at a later date this year. You're gonna want this information. You're gonna need it. The next real Batman villain is the Keyboard Warrior. Yeah, probably. What is going on, Brother John? How are you? Martian Manhunter 2 has pulled books for Friday, Saturday delivery. There you go. Awesome. So yeah, I need to double check, make sure I got that one. Gots to make sure. Gots to have it. Loved issue 1. All right, here's a big one. This is a big deal book right here. So we're not doing a big summer blockbuster event. You got the One World Under Dune happening right now. You had the Blood Hunt thing that Marvel did. You had the Absolute Power that DC did last year. The typical event. Some people say I'm done with events. I'm evented out. I don't like the tie-ins. It's the medium. There's nothing new about it. They're not overplayed. They might feel overplayed, but it's kind of the formula. They all don't have to be 50-issue tie-in events that are trying to alter the whole course of their universe, but events are a thing in comic books. They're a thing that you're supposed to look forward to. You want to see all these characters share the pages together. You want to see the stakes higher, stuff like that. But when do they lose their oomph? When do they stop feeling like there's any stakes? That's why I like what DC is doing this year. We're in this all-in era. Books are flowing smoothly. Continuity is fantastic. There's so much to pick and choose what you might be into. And it sucks when you're getting into a groove like that, and then an event kind of halts the ongoing stories that you're enjoying. Well, that's not happening this year. Nothing is announced at this point, but we do get this story called We Were Yesterday that's billed as a crossover event. I don't like that the word event gets included in that description. It's a loaded term. It's just a crossover, right? Justice League Unlimited has been running its story now for however many issues. We're up to issue number 6 with this one. And you have this super terror cell called Inferno that they've been having to deal with the fallout of their actions. Well, this is part 2 in the story called We Were Yesterday, where it was revealed a month or so ago that Inferno is really just the Legion of Doom. How's that so? In current comics, the Legion of Doom's not together. Lex has turned a new leaf. Sinestro's out in space. Continuity matters, so these events shouldn't be capable of coming to happen. So we're finding out that the Legion of Doom from yesterday, asterisk, undisclosed time in the past, has now come to attack the present. And it was revealed in part 1 of this story, World's Finest, from last week, that Gorilla Grodd is orchestrating all of this. And you start to get an idea of him setting it up in part 1 last week in World's Finest. And now this one is your exposition. This one is the hit the ground running. Part 2, Justice League Unlimited number 6, We Were Yesterday, part 2. you get all the answers to the foundation of this story. And there's a lot to it. It's not complicated, it's not convoluted, but it's a Justice League book. It should be big. It should have this vastness to it, this large scale, stakes, all of that. It's got all that. And it leaves you wanting some questions answered. The Legion of Doom formed from the past, not just any one past. We're pulling Legion members from different parts of the past, which will add a unique dynamic to this team that we haven't seen in the Legion of Doom before. A lot of cool elements to this story. Mark Waid's writing it. Tried, tested, and true. Mark Waid is DC Comics right now. This man is working overtime to deliver the best ongoing stuff that we get right now. Couldn't recommend it enough. If you're already pulling Justice League Unlimited, add those 3 issues of World's Finest to your pool. Let's get the one from last week and then the next 2, and you'll be set. You'll have the story. And on top of that, if you're a cover collector, they do have this connecting cover set that's being put together while you get this. Now, here's the great news. It's the A covers. Over here, this yellow portion on the top left with Gorilla Grodd right there, that's last week's issue of World's Finest. Right next to it, slap dab in the middle of the top half of this image with Wonder Woman there, that's this week's issue of Justice League, and then so on. So 6 cover connecting sets off the A covers. How awesome is that? You don't have to upcharge for the card stock to get the, what is it called, minimal trade dress versions. So great covers all included in what you're already pulling on your pull list. This was a great issue. A little sad at some parts, a little violent in some parts. We get some answers to a lot of stuff that was happening in the story leading up to it as well. Ventriloquist would be a good villain for the movie. Yeah. What's going on, Tony? Good to see you in here. Hello. Got Flash by Night. What's up, TJ? Justice League and all the absolute books are on my pull list. Perfect. Make sure you don't miss out on those 3 issues of World's Finest or you will get lost. The last issue of Justice League did say, because it gave us kind of like a prologue, to be continued in World's Finest issue, whatever. But don't miss out. It isn't like you can read just the Justice League and be like, I'll pick up on the context. That ain't how it's going to. It's literally a fluid story bouncing from one to the other. It's from what it's looking like. And to be fair, I guess with last issue of World's Finest, you're really just seeing like the last couple of pages to see the mission get set off on. I had to hit the ground running with this one, though. Holy potatoes. Yeah, those connecting covers are awesome. Super awesome. I'm digging them. Oh, let's see. Crap. Green Arrow, I finally actually dropped. But this right here, yeah, new Green Arrow out this week. Didn't make it on the pool list. It had to come off. But Green Lantern, number 22 by Jeremy Adams. Holy smokes. I praise the Green Lantern Corps the last 2 months it came out. High remarks for the Green Lanterns. This might have been the single favorite issue that they've done. Where we left them, Hector Hammond was repowered, was working with the department, the DEO, with Dr. Bones and stuff, and turncoated on him and repowered up himself. And that's where we left him, while we have Kyle out in space with Connor and Odyssey trying to go look into some events and discovered a chained up prisoner by the name of Dan Garrett. That's right, the OG Blue Beetle. And that's where we pick up with this issue. Knockdown, drag out action in this one. Major character moments and reveals and the returning of some iconic comic book history and shown in a new light. Major page dropper moments that Jeremy Adams delivers with this. He's really flexing his knowledge of this company's history, his passion for these characters, and the drive for readers to see something we haven't seen before. That's not easy to do when you have almost 90 years of ongoing history with these characters. It's hard to shock people still, but Jeremy Adams is doing it consistently every month in the pages of Green Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now that's a great A deal. Yeah, those connecting covers are awesome. The bad thing about crossovers is that they do one event like We're yesterday. How long will it be before the next one? And then The next one after that, then it goes into too many other comics. No, this is, again, I explained it. This isn't an event that with tie-ins. It's just a crossover. Massive difference between a crossover and an event like Shadow War that was told in the pages of Batman and Titans for 3 months. If you're reading Batman and Titans, those books are interwoven. You know, like the Superman House of Brainiac they did took place in the pages of Superman and Action Comics. 2 books featured for the same characters that the stories are standalone stories. For a limited time, their stories will be one and the same. But yeah, the next time you see a crossover, it'll be in a different comic. It might be a Batman crossover or something like that. But it's those summer events that infect, for lack of a better word, infect the continuity across the board. Ben Compton, what is going on? Sir Timothy Nerdy, what's up, what's up, what's up? I really hope ASM gets better, says everybody. Yeah, everybody hopes so. I have no faith in ASM getting better. You have the editor of Marvel tell people on a Substack, go read a different comic. If you don't like what we're doing, go read something else. They have no respect, no love for the fans. They literally don't give 2 craps about the fans. And that is the craziest thing to me in any business. It's wild. Absolutely wild. Makes no sense whatsoever. But it's unfortunate. Like you said, though, you always have Ultimate. Unless they crap the bed with that, too. Green Lantern is a keeper. Absolutely. Do you think the writers get any assistance from AI to deep dive further into the history of these characters? No, I don't. Maybe like on their personal time, they might play with tools like that. I was talking to Jeremy Adams, and he told me that when he was getting ready with this Aquaman story, for the past 2 issues, they introduced a new concept called the blue. You know what the green is? It's the Parliament's color manifestation of its presence inside of all plant life on Earth. Swamp Thing is the avatar of the green. For the animal life, you have the red. For rot and decay, you have the gray and its connection to Solomon Grundy. They introduced the blue and the connection to water. And when Jeremy Adams said he told me he was talking to his editor for Green Lantern and said, hey, what can I do with this? What's been done with this? And his editor's like, well, let me check through all of our stuff. I'm sure it's been done before. And much to both of their surprise, no one had ever thought of or messed with the Parliament of the Blue before. So that was the writer of Green Lantern and Aquaman. That was his firsthand experience with discovering the history aspect to that parliamental color, was asking his editor to double check for him because he couldn't find anything. So they have their own resources at DC. They have their ways to do it. I'm sure they have a whole data bank and everything. But I thought that was a great story when he was telling me and Sector about that. We got another one, a $2 super chat from Dale's Auto. Hashtag We Are Legion. One more. Just one more. Just one. And you get the cross-eyed Superman. That is pretty funny. We'll see what happens with that. It happens so fast. It's cutting a lot of slack, man. It's easy to catch anybody on screen making a weird face if you pause them at the right moment. God knows that there's a lot of they've been savagely redoing the Rachel Zegler ones from Snow White. There's some funny ones out there too. Been cracking me up. 36 member milestone chat from Brother John. I also don't give a crap about the fans. Hashtag We Are Legion. Yeah, that was crazy that he typed that and posted it on Substack, which largely has like a financial aspect to it where people are trying to support their creators financially on that platform too. And he's telling them to like, go on, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I think we're going 5 over 5. It looks like we are. It looks like we might be going 5 over 5 with the $2 super chat from Zars. Let's make YouTube mad with this one. Let's go. Yeah, pushing it with a 13-second long clip. But man, that fight seems hard to edit down. It's so good. So good. Big shout out and thank you to everybody who dropped the super chat. I put it as 5 over 5. That means we'll be spinning the wheel for the bonus prize in just a few minutes here. And make sure y'all don't go anywhere. Getting closer to the giveaway. Getting close. Because we got a 3 p.m. hard stop. Let me see what else we got. Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Flash, I dropped. They're still dealing with the Eclipso thing. That's crazy to think that I dropped a Flash book. It's even crazier to think I dropped it on an Eclipso storyline. Absolutely love that villain, but I just couldn't do it anymore, man. Size Barrier ain't it. It ain't it. See, let me scroll down. New Power Girls out this week. Oh, I got to read issue. I got issue 2 sitting here, and then issue 3 dropped this week for Green Lantern Dark from the DC Elseworld line, the Tangent Universe Green Lantern. Issue 1 I absolutely loved. Let's see, issue 3 with the Beasts of Castle Bat tamed, the Green Lantern finds herself in new allies she never wanted nor asked for in a mysterious Bat Wraith and the sullen, regretful Beast Boy himself, Gar. But despite her best attempts to shake them, she'll find she needs all the help she can get if she hopes to survive the traumas of her past, brought to vivid and terrifying life as they travel through the abandoned tower of Port Harbor. Excited for this. I love the Tangent stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm not like dove into a lot of it. The designs are awesome. Pop's always had a poster of the Tangent characters up in one of the comic rooms and stuff, and just always cool. Always cool. So I really enjoyed getting that issue 1 and diving into it. And if you're a Solomon Grundy fan, especially, it was a great issue to dive into. There are good Marvel books, but ASM ain't it. LOL. Yeah, big facts. I think there's 1 or 2 out there. I can't find them, but yeah, I've heard they're good as Marvel books. Okay, what I missed? They asked me to work at work. Oh, boo. Boo. Let's see. Where else are we at? Chat. That's Australian money. Someone needs to chip in 150 difference. Sweet Caroline. So good, so good. Thanks, Pop, but I'm chipping the extra. You're the man, SARS. You know Pop's going to troll. Gotta let him. Gotta love him. Let's see. That might have been it for the new DC books. Of course, there's some fantastic variants out there this week. We don't have time to spotlight all of them. Oh, another one. Crazy that I dropped it. Metamorpho 5 is out. Picked up the first 4. Al Ewing ain't it. It ain't just Marvel. DC's got a lot out there. Someone's gonna just miss the mark, and this is one for me that missed the mark, which is crazy. What a fun character. Al Ewing was really leaning into the zaniness of the Silver Age and trying to have some fun with it, but he's went full self-indulgent and just lost the plot. Not even the story plot. He lost the plot. He had a job to do and he forgot what it was along the way. It's like he almost just went into a trance and his fingers are just writing story that makes no bearing or nothing to do with anything. And it just became hard to read and for no reason. It wasn't fun. It was like a chore, which is crazy to think was such a fun character. But I don't know if it's just slated as a miniseries or what. But man, it was unfortunate. I might go back and try to revisit it on the DC app. Maybe I say that, but most likely I never will. Beautiful Christian Ward variant though. Wicked cool stuff. But yeah, some good stuff out this week. And let me stop sharing because we got to spin this wheel. I also have to get this StreamYard giveaway thing up as well, right? Can't have too many tabs open at once. What's up, Monk?
Can I put more ginger ale on this?
I can. I'm working for the next few more minutes.
Can I go ask Mommy?
Yep, you can definitely go ask Mommy. All right, start collecting comments. There we go. Got that going. And let's present this wheel of names. But before I do that, so there's a collection that came through that a lot of 90s stuff. There are some couple money books in there that and stuff, but I was more after some different stuff in there that I saw that really just struck me in the fandom. But one thing that I thought was cool that I picked up out of this collection that came through today was the Max. This is the mini comic number 2. It was exclusive supplement to the Wizard magazine, issue 51 of Wizard. But I like the Max. I got a stack of Darker Image with his first appearance and stuff. And just waiting on something to pop off with that guy. That'd be awesome. Mortal Kombat Blood and Thunder number 2. I like Mortal Kombat, and I've never really dove into the comics. I got like 1 or 2, and that was it. Topps Comics 0 for Zorro. This will become very relevant, especially if you're a channel member. If you're in part of the Legion tier, this will be very relevant and attached to something super cool coming soon. Some Jurassic Park goodness. Another thing, I love Jurassic Park. That was cool to find. And I had this book as a kid, and I actually sold it on Pop's Attic. And Panda Awesome 316 bought it, which is great that he has my childhood copy. But as soon as it sold, I'm like, man, I wish I still had that. The one that sold was the one from my toy box that I had as a kid. Love this movie. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to grab that. And then there, of course, there was one copy of Turok #1 in there to add to the collection. So there's pretty cool stuff in there. And I saw that it was actually DC that put out that Street Fighter comic. I love movie adaptations and stuff like that. They're just fun. But start dropping that hashtag, show everybody what giving away, and we'll spin this bonus thing. Today's winner is getting Superman issue 25, beautiful cover art by Jeff DeCall, and the Lee Bermejo variant for Justice League Unlimited #6, featuring part 2 of We Were Yesterday. And then we're going to spin this wheel that I'm going to present to the screen here. Present, share screen, wheel of names. All right, so we got these bonus prizes. Some bonus prizes in there, which include, there's 2 separate Ollie's packs on there, 1 Aquaman Volume 1, 1 Superman Doomsday, and 2 Batman Earth 1 Volume 1 by Jeff Johns still left. So I'm going to shuffle this bad boy. And we're going to stop. And this is what's getting added to the prizes today. Let's see what it's going to be. What's going in there? What is it? 2 weeks in a row. So Aquaman Volume 1 by Jeff Johns and Ivan Reis, All-Stars, who are rocking Ghost Machine right now. Going into the edition. And then we're running low on DC Cosmic cards, but have no fear. I've got the DC Master cards, which are all painted cards. I'm about to restock this with, but let me pull a couple cards on the blind. Oh, that's a good one. Perfect timing. Oh, that's a cool one. All right, let's see what we got being added in there. So Northwind is going in there. Copperhead is going in there. And last but not least, Golden Age Wonder Woman is, Silver Age Wonder Woman is going in there. Also including, and a big shout out and thank you to ABX Comics and Games. Get one of their foil stickers going in there. And let me share the giveaway part now. Giveaway tool. A lot of moving parts on this stream these days. There we go. There's the hashtag. Hope everybody has it in there. And how many people does it have? Showing 36 entries, 47 watching. If you already put the hashtag in there, make like a Joseph Michaels and put it in there again. Might serve you well. You could have been the one that it missed. You never know. Ollie's, good stuff, cheap. Absolutely. 1000%. I love Ollie's. Whenever you need female Marvel Legends or female Star Wars action figures, you go to Ollie's to find them. I don't make the rules. I just make the observations. Hashtag Todd was right. Oh, man, watching people get mad over stuff is just entertaining. Just entertaining. Oh, you know, like the guy who runs a toy empire that he started from the ground up and has dominated the industry for the better part of 30 years doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to selling toys. That's wild. I know that's an argument from authority, but still, that's wild. He wouldn't be successful like that. Like, the dude's better at selling and making toys than he is at like comics. Like, top 3 Todd McFarlane things. 1 is toy maker. Like he became famous from comics, but #1 is toy maker. Like, that's his thing. That's it. Yeah, John knows. He knows. Yeah, I don't make the rules. All right, looks like he's got 39 in there. Thank you, everybody who's hanging out. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up on your way out. Don't forget to do that. And don't forget the first Saturday in May, May 3rd, is free comic book day. Go to ABX Comics and Games and come celebrate with a lot of us from the community. Comic Viking, myself, Brian LCS, Geek Out with Roscoe, Pops Attic will be there. So it's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun. And if you're not in the Augusta area, make plans. Make a day trip out of it. We can hit a lot of shops. There's amazing stores here in the Augusta area. Amazing stores, Dead Media, ABX, Second and Charles. You can literally make a day out of it. It'll be a blast. And if you're not capable of doing that, get out to your local store. Support them. They spend a lot of money to put these events on, to give away free stuff to everybody who comes in there. It's a great way to bring in new fans of the hobby, and it's a great way to meet people. Like, I'm a social butterfly. You know what I mean? I like talking to strangers. I won't take candy from them, but I'll definitely talk to them. Good luck to everybody in the chat. Free shipping in the United States. If you're international, it's not free shipping. So you can prize tag somebody or you can pay the shipping. Jonathan Jackson. Boom. Boom. Congrats, homie. Look at that. Look at that. I'm batting 1,000 right now, folks. That's a local. Big shout out to Jonathan. And that reminds me, bud, new Mission Impossible is coming out. We saw the last one together. We got to see the next one together. Big shout out to Jonathan. Thank you so much, homie. I'll shoot you a message on the Instagrams or shoot me a message. I'll get them to you. Yeah. I'll make it happen, Captain. Thank you, everybody watching. Check out my video from yesterday. It's the full free comic book day video. See what all is coming out. There's going to be some chases out there, probably some stuff you're interested in. Make plans. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. There's scalpers out there for everything. Don't pay for free comic books. Be there on time. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.
All that ends right now!